leave it to Lucy. The minute I sit down to film a video, she wants to play. So, all right. So we're going to have to just deal with Lucy. But one of the things I didn't talk about this morning when I made my other video is that Valentine's Day yesterday was me and my husband's, you little monster. Sorry about that. Me and my husband's 35th wedding anniversary. I started dating my husband when I was 15 years old, and I don't think I've ever told the story. I don't know if I have. But yeah, long story short, I started seeing my husband when I was 15 years old, and in a really rough period of my life. And he was going through a few things. And I spent that whole time, I had such a hatred towards men in my life. And there was reasons for that at the time, not anymore. So no worries. But hang on a second. Give me that. Go. She likes to play fetch. But I told God when I was 13 years old, I said, if you want me to have a husband, you're going to have to issue me one because I'm over it, and I just didn't have any trust or faith in the male species, except for my brothers. I really dearly loved my brothers, but it was just one of those moments in my life. But I started seeing him, and he asked me out one night, August 25th of 1989 to be specific. And I remember that night because we were at the movies and we were watching Ghostbusters, and it was just premiered. So I took my little brother to the movie. And my little brother, being a toddler, he was my little sidekick, kept running between me and then Mike and his friend sat down at the other end of the aisle and was just back and forth, and they kept stealing their candy. I met Mike prior because of another reasons, which story for another day. But I did never talk to him. I didn't pay, nothing. But I remember when I saw him in the lobby of the theater getting me and my little brother the movie tickets, I flipped his collar down. And I said, you need a mother to dress you. Grabbed my baby brother, grabbed our snacks, and off we went to the theater. And at the end of that movie, my brother had managed to steal their red vines and their candy and their popcorn and all that, and I kept apologizing. And at the end of it, he asked me out. He asked if I would go out with him. I was 15. And I remember looking at him in the entryway lobby of the theater. And I said, there is no way in HE double hockey sticks I will ever go out with you. Well, as of yesterday, we've been married for 35 years. So you can imagine how quickly that failed. And when he proposed to me 2 years after we'd been dating, I told him the same thing. I said, I can't marry you. Can't do it. And it was because I had fertility issues, and my husband's an only child. And so I knew that I couldn't have children, which I prayed for years before I actually had my first child. And there is an 8-year gap between my children. Fertility is a major issue in my world. Hence, I do have 5 children. 3 of them are adopted. 2 of them I birthed. I did have one that we lost prematurely, and she passed away before birth. So it was, yeah, it's been an adventure. But I did turn him down, and so we argued about that for about 20 minutes. And he wasn't taking no for an answer, so here we are. But it has been an amazing 35 years, and at no point did I ever think for a hot second that my husband, who was a little rebel child back then, would turn out to be a pastor, or that I would turn out the way that I did. I wouldn't go back to those days for all the tea in China. You get asked, if there's anything about your history you could change, what would it be? Nothing. I can't think of a thing. There are some things that I've thought about I might change. Like my dad might actually love me, but he doesn't. It's okay. But even that happened for a reason. So you have to get to my age before you realize sometimes even the most what feels horrific things, like the loss of parents who are still living, you just realize it happens for a reason. That I got God, I'm good. But my husband turned out to be a pastor, and our lives have taken some amazing turns. I might out of one of these days, just because this channel really was built for my grandkids and my kids, and I really should start telling some of those stories so that they have them. I've written 6 books. None of them have been published. I don't know that I'll ever publish them. I might just leave them for my family. But one of them actually tells the story of my daughter, my youngest biological child. I do have 2 23-year-olds. One of them, Jen, I had, and the other one I adopted. And Everybody thinks they're twins. They look alike, they act alike, they fight like siblings. I mean, you would think they were twins, but they're not even genetically related, but you couldn't tell. And it's really cool. I've got a really neat family, but I have been blessed so much in my life. And I was just sitting here thinking after my husband's sermon, we just got out of church, and we really are a blessed family. I mean, I want for nothing. Our church has had moments where we're struggling and provision appears. We received a gift to our church this week that we have no idea where it came from, but we needed it, and it was exactly what we needed. So, I mean, God is good. He's miraculous. And we've just had people ask us, well, how did you last 35 years? How did you make it that long? We had one rule, and that you never let the sun set on your anger. There's a reason that that's in the Bible. It's just, you don't let the sun set, don't go to bed. We have stayed up for 2 and 3 days at a shot, being surely exhausted. We may have to go to our corners if we're having an argument or something. We've had 9 major arguments in 35 years, but we have never, ever split from it. You just go to your corners, you sort your crap out, you come back together when you're able to sort it out and to have that civil conversation. Do not go to bed mad at each other. Don't fall asleep mad at each other. You sort that stuff out, because all it's going to do is fester and get worse. And we've been through a lot. We've survived a lot. We have a lot of stories to tell. Like I said, I really probably ought to start telling those stories. But I am really grateful to my husband. We've been married for 35 years, and it's not been perfect. No marriage is ever perfect. I don't care who you are. Your marriage is not perfect. It might look perfect like ours does. It looks perfect on the surface. But we are those kinds of people that we don't let people get super close to us until we've earned your trust. It's like test first, trust later. We kind of live by that, especially when you're in ministry. There's a lot of people that they don't have your best interest at heart. So you got to really look out for yourself. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. In my family, you'll notice that I'm wearing a crown. This one, my son bought me. My son, Michael, he's my oldest naturally born child. But he bought it for me because he's like, Mom's the queen. She's the queen. And that's the way that the men in our family treat the women in our family. They treat us like we are queens. But the reality is we've earned it. We treat them the same. If you're going to have a family, treat each one as if they're the most important person in your life. Because if you treat each one of them like that, they're going to treat you like you're the most important person in your life. So my husband bought me a gold one that's got emeralds and diamonds in it. It's not real, of course. I would absolutely flip if he spent that much money. But it's real. They're crystals. They're really pretty. And I have a pearl one that is actually sterling silver, pearl, and what do they call those? Swarovski crystal. It's super beautiful, but it's kind of fun to wear a crown. I'm literally sitting in what I wore to church today. But it reminds you of how important you are, and especially to your family when it's something that your family has given to you. It's kind of something that they say. If I'm sometimes I'm chronically late. I prefer to be on time. I don't like to be late. But then the standing joke in my family is the queen is never late. She arrives precisely when she means to. And it's like, I hate being late, but sometimes it happens. But they treat my daughters the same way. And there's a story actually behind the crowns. And again, another story for another day, but there's a reason that crowns are the thing. But it's just a lot of fun. So it's like today I'm wearing pink and my crown's got a lot of pink in it. And I just felt like, you know what? I'm wearing my crown today because I can and because somebody special gave it to me. And it's just fun. And sometimes, ladies, you hearing me? Listen up. Listening? Are you listening? Sometimes you got to throw on your crown and actually show the world who's boss. See, now I have a Yorkie Frenchie mix who thinks she's the queen. Maybe she is in her own little delusion. Anyway, she's a crazy little puppy, but I can't imagine life without dogs. I have 4 of them, but sometimes you got to throw on your crown and show the world who's in charge. And even though it's just a crown, sometimes just having something pretty on, maybe it's a pretty necklace, maybe it's a favorite sweater, maybe it's a piece of jewelry you love. And if it's that one thing that gives you confidence or makes you feel comforted, or maybe it's a sweater that somebody gave you that has the best hugs, and you put that sweater on and you feel like you've just been given the best hug. That's what it's all about. But in my family, it's crowns. We have crowns, and I really love them, and they're fun just to run around in your bathrobe. And what's even more fun is when people knock on your door and you're standing there in a bathrobe and a tiara, and they look at you, and you're just like, "I'm the queen, don't judge." Anyway, a little bit of silliness from my family to yours. But I don't know. Today's been a really great day. I'm gonna accomplish a lot of things today. I'm still in school, so I'm sitting here working on my schedule. So day planner. And I've got to mark all that out. I've got until May 3rd to complete 3 classes. Hopefully I will get them done. So I'm doing, neuroscience, neurolinguistic programming, and hypnosis, and then advanced hypnosis. So if I can get the neuroscience and the neurolinguistic programming done, that'll be a win. And I can always follow up with the other. But I got a little behind because a little bit of things happened, which is also part of the reason I haven't put up a dollhouse video. I've been super busy with some other things that have been going on. Anyway, I'll let you go because I'm rambling now and just babbling, but it's been such a good day. God has just so been in today, and I went to church today, and it's that awesome feeling when you go to church and you just feel like you've been to church and God stepped in and said, "Hey, I'm here." I love that feeling. So anyway, I hope you guys have had a really good day. Y'all queens to me, and kings if you have one in there. I don't know if any guys watch my videos. If you're a guy and you watch my video, leave it in the comments because I appreciate you too. Anyway, this is me, myself, and life, and I will see you on the next.